Ladies and gentlemen, this is Maestro Paul Gerasi at the 2017 Arnold Fencing Classic. We're about to start the gold medal bout for the junior men's epee competition. On the left is Alexandre Mason from Sunbury, Ohio, in the Fencing Alliance of Ohio, and on the right is Donovan Stott from Rochester, New York, in the Rochester Fencing Club. And the fencing has started, and both fencers are making attempts to score. And a quick score at the advanced target is Donovan Stott. Donovan finds that upper arm, is able to score his first touch. It's often a rather psychological touch if you can hit someone in the hand or on the wrist. Another one. This time a flick over the bell guard earns him his second touch. And Alex Mason has to come back now. Alex Mason, a lefty, so he's going to hug the left side of that strip, trying to get the outside line on his opponent. Both fencers trying to score. Mason pushing his opponent back. Stott is waiting for him. Makes an attempt at the low target. Flicks up top, but a double touch is scored as Mason scores a counterattack for a double touch. In epee, if both fencers hit at the same time, they are both awarded a touch. Epee is a descendant of the dueling sword, and so if both fencers would hit, both would draw blood, and both would be counted as equals, regardless of who started the action. An attempt at the foot, but Mason brings his foot back rather quickly, and they reset. Both fencers looking for the opening in the tempo. Another attack with a flick by Stott, but this time it's parried, and Mason scores to his opponent's advanced target. And the score is 2-3. Donovan Stott still has a 1-point advantage. We fenced to 15 points. This is the gold medal match. Both fencers trying to find each other's tempo, trying to find a weakness. Stott pressing the distance, coming forward for the first time.
That's all right, you got something more important. We just have the blank screen.
And an equalizer touch by Mr. Mason makes it 3-3. Both fencers engage again. Attack to the low target, a response to the low target, no touches. Both fencers being cautious, staying just out of reach. Quick jab underneath the bell, but it yields no fruit.
Just right up there.
Mason's looking for something, but he's having to retreat. Stott's pressing the distance all the way back to the end line. The fencer goes off the back of the strip. He's a penalty touch is awarded to his opponent. He cannot go 2 feet off that dark blue surface, but this time he gets Stott to chase him. Stott thinking he could push him back, but he's able to score a touch after he draws his opponent in, and both fencers will now call no joy, and they'll wait till the time expires in the period. And so the first period will come to a close with the score being 4-3 in favor of Alexandre Mason, and we will go to a 1-minute break. They test the guards on their epees, put their masks on, and they're ready to begin the second period of combat. And the referee says, on guard, ready, fence, which is the equivalent of on your marks, get set, go. And now Mason seems a little bit more pensive, a little bit more. And Stott comes forward and makes his hit, but not before Mason is able to score a counterattack flick on his arm. for a double touch. Double touches always favor the person who's winning. We see a little bit more rhythm in Stott's step. And that time he really got, Stott got his opponent, Mason, to go, and he scored a touch. Didn't look like Mason agreed with that. I think he thought that they had passed, but he did not call for a video replay review, which is his right. And the two combatants resume. Tied at 5 each. Stott trying that long flick, trying to flick to the hand. Right there, he flicks to the bell guard. You can hear the clang. Goes for the toe, but he's penalized by a flesh attack by Mason to the upper shoulder. It's risky going down for that toe in that situation. And there's a toe attempt by Mason. Perhaps just trying to keep him honest. They're both hugging that left side of the strip. That's what left-handers like to do. The attack and the riposte, both miss. And the attack by Stott is bound up by Mason, who's able to score. And now he has a 2-point advantage. And this becomes problematic in Epee because, again, if he can double out, he can earn a way to victory. However, we still have a lot of fencing left to go, and it's not really advisable to sit on a 2-point lead. All the way back in his end. He can't get 2 feet off that dark blue, or a penalty touch will be scored against him. And that time, it just seemed like Mr. Stott couldn't get his point on. It looks like he hit him with the flat of the blade. He was not able to really depress the plunger on the tip of his epee. And so now a 3-point lead by Alexander Mason. Donovan Stott has to be careful that he doesn't become too desperate here. There's still a lot of time left. And this has been a rather cautious bout. He comes forward with advanced lunge with a flick to the top shoulder. The counterattack from Mason scores as well. It's a double touch. And again, the double touch really favors the person in the lead. Another flick. Side flick. Mason attempts a counter flesh. Flesh attack is a running attack almost that makes the fencer go into the air like an arrow. Flesh is the French word for arrow. But unfortunately, he timed it wrong, and Stott was able to counterattack and hit him mid-flight. Several flick attacks. Looks like he's doing this more to provoke a reaction. Oh, but this time he goes deep with that flick and scores. And just when there was a 3-point advantage, it's down to a 1-point advantage with 15 seconds left in the second period. Both fencers start again. Advanced lunge with that flick over the top of the bell. We can hear the clang of the bell. We can hear the sound of the steel. And both fencers back off, and as they realize time is about to expire, time has expired, and both fencers will go to a 1-minute rest period. And the break time is expired. They touch each other's bell guards, and they do that to check to make sure that the weapon is grounded and the weapons are functioning correctly, and they begin the third and final period. So we fence for 3 more minutes or till someone gets 15 points, whichever comes first. And it looks like both fencers come out with a little bit more rhythm to their feet, kicking it up into an extra gear. This is where it matters. And the attack to the foot by Stott misses. Mason takes over the attack and scores his 10th touch. hard beat. Stott escapes. Stott makes a beat or a flick attack, but it misses. The counter by Mason doesn't seem to hit. He's asking for the referee to check his weapon and determine if it's working, and the weapon is working correctly. And therefore, the remise of the attack will go to Mr. Stott for a 9-10 score. With the epee, you have to hit with the point, and only with the point. You can hit anywhere on the body, but it has to be with the point. And sometimes if you hit with the side of the point, it won't fire. So it has to be a very true touch. Both fencers go deep, but come back out. As they go in and out of distance, it gets more dangerous. Tack to the foot, tack to the bell. And Stott attempts to come in with what we call a flying attack, where you take the blade up and finish. But the blade slips off of his, and he's hit with the counterattack. 11-6, Alexander Mason up in this gold medal bout, seeking 15 points. Mason hanging back now. Knowing he has the advantage, he can hang back a little bit and make his opponent come to him. Oh, and a beautiful flicking counterattack to his opponent's wrist. And Alexander Mason scores his 12th touch. The fencing resumes again. Stott has to change something up here. He needs 3 points. Taking the blade and attack to the low target yields nothing. 2 flicks up top. And Mason celebrates with an infighting touch. Looked like Donovan Stott just overextended himself on that and had nowhere to go. 13-9. And we are seeing some major athleticism here, and I can tell that Alexander Mason is pumped. 14-9. If he scores one more point, he'll be the gold medal. And there it is! He follows it up, and he celebrates. And now he will politely come back and salute his opponent and shake his hand. Your winner, Alexander Mason.